I'm going to get the rabbis back for what they did to me because I was embarrassed at the wedding. So we say, Daf Nun Vav, 1, 2, looks like 6 lines, 1 second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th wide line, and Nun Vav Amud Aleph.
I just want to be present.
All right. Shadar, Nero and Caesar. So he sent to Nero, the Caesar. He sent them the information. I sent the carbon. They didn't offer it. Yours. So Kiyasa Shade Gira Lemizach. So that's it. Nero said, "Oh, it must be true. It must be that they are revolting." So he went towards Yerushalayim. He got Shade Gira Lemizach. Asanaf of Yerushalayim. Lamarba Asanaf of Yerushalayim. So he went. He shot Nero from the east. They landed towards Yerushalayim and went there all the way. And then the other one went also towards Yerushalayim. And the Arba Ruchais Hashemayim Asanaf Hashem. He went all 4 different directions, and it kept on going more towards Yerushalayim, basically giving him a sign that he should go ahead and and wage war upon Yerushalayim. So Amar Leida and Ukas, he said to a child who was there, Pasuk Li Psukecha, tell me the pasuk that you're learning now in Cheder. So Amar Leida, so he said, V'nasati es nikmasi be'edom bi'adami Yisrael. And I shall give my revenge to Edom through the hands of Israel. So you see that. So Amar, what was this title of the pasuk? Hucha brichu boilech Ruvain. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to go ahead and destroy the base. He wants the Jewish people to go. He wants someone to come and destroy the Jewish temple, and after that happens, and then that person basically will be punished. Whoever does, even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants Yerushalayim to be destroyed, he's going to go ahead and seek revenge against that person ultimately. So Arag the Azal V'Yagari says, that ain't going to be me. So he said Nero. So he left. He ran away. He was misgayer to become a Jew. And Rav Meir ultimately came from him. The Shadi Leo, Las Basinus, Caesar. So they went ahead and they sent, next general up. They sent over Aspasinus, who was the Caesar, Vespasian, Aspasinus. So also Tsar Alet Toas Shani. So he placed, 3 years siege upon Yerushalayim. So there were 3 very, very wealthy individuals in Yerushalayim. Nakdimon Ben Gurion, Ben Kalva Savua, Ben Tzitzis HaKesses. So 3 people: Nakdimon Ben Gurion, Ben Kalva Savua, and Ben Tzitzis HaKesses. And why were they called that? So Nakdimon Ben Gurion, Shenokta Loichama Be'avuro, the son, the Maisa, the son basically stood up in the air, did not set when it was supposed to on his behalf. So that's the name of Nakdimon, right? Then Kalva Savua. What is Savua? Shekala Nichnas Zavesok Shuroiv Tekelav Yaitzik Shu Saveya. Whoever goes in his house extremely hungry, like a dog, will come out full Saveya. But this is a kasa Shaisa Tzitzis Negros Al Gabi Hisas. That when he would walk, he would have people basically that his tzitzis would drag upon cushions. And he could say Shaisa Ksisa Ksoso Motelis Ben Gdoli Rami. That he had a seat. Right, also in Casas, right, he had a seat by the the Roman what's it called, the dignitaries or whatever. So Chad Omar Lahu, one of them said, I will supply over here. We're under siege, right? They surrounded us. I will go ahead and supply wheat and barley for everybody. And I will go ahead and provide wine, salt, and oil. I will go ahead and provide wood for cooking. The Shavchot Rabbanon Tzive, and the Rabbanon praise those, he who provided the wood. That seems to be the biggest price tag that Achiza called Akalidi Havi Masar Lashame Bar Meditzivi. Right, he used to go ahead and basically he would give over other people the authority, the keys to the different silos of different products, except for that of wood, because the wood was most important. Then Rav Chisda. Right? You want to go ahead and prepare 1 silo of wheat, you're going to need basically 60 silos of wood. So you need a lot more wood than anything else, and therefore that was the most important. So they had enough product to go ahead, staples to go ahead and to support them for 21 years. So however, there was these Bar Yunis. These were like the sort of like an underground. Was so underground, but they sort of with the wild men. They wanted to go ahead and let's go ahead and they're gung ho and looking for a war, looking for a fight with the Romans. So let's go ahead and make peace with the Romans, and this way we'll avoid being killed, avoid the destruction of the temple, and save our lives. However, the Baryani did not agree to that. So they told the rabbis, let's go ahead and wage war against him. So we won't be successful. They went ahead and says, you know what? We have a way to force battle. So they went ahead, these Baryani, and they went ahead and they burnt down all the warehouses or all the storehouses of all the food, and therefore, Vihavi Kakna. And there was now a famine in Yerushalayim. And Martha Bas Baitus Asirasa Yerushalayim Havi. So Martha was a very wealthy woman of Yerushalayim, and she had many servants. Havi Shadrisa Shluche. She also was running out of food, so she sent her messenger of Amalei Zilaisini Samida. Go ahead and get me this very fine flour. So by the time he went there, he's done, and it was already sold. So he said, okay, there is no this fine flour, but there is white flour. So go ahead and bring me. So meanwhile, he went. He's done, and it was sold. However, right, there is gushkarika, right? There is no white flour, but there is a darkened, right, a blended zika. So go ahead and get me. By the time went, he's done, and it was sold. Right, there is no more wheat at all, but there is some barley. Right, this guy doesn't seem like such a good employee, right? Go ahead and bring me Adazil. By the time he went, he's Davin. Once again, it was sold out. So she wasn't wearing one of her shoes or her shoes. You know what? Forget this. I'm going to go ahead and find my own. If I can go ahead and find something to eat. So she went ahead and then she stepped upon some sort of tzoa, right? She sent some animal dung, whatever it was, something gross and disgusting, and umesa. And from the ultimate shock, right, of this lady, this noble woman, right, this woman who was used to the finest things of in life, right, and she was lowered down to this level. She basically died from shock. Right, like a woman who's very fine and delicate and pampered and spoiled, right, whose feet have not touched the ground. And some say it wasn't that she stepped on, so rather it was right, rather it was the pit from Rabbi Tzadok that she stepped on, right? And what was that? She came grossed out Umesa, and she died from that. Rabbi Tzadok said for 40 years in the fast throughout the days of Yerushalayim, in order that Yerushalayim should not go ahead and be destroyed. When he would eat, you could actually see it, like the food go down. He was so skinny. When he would get better in order to eat, so they're bringing like a pit, right, like a date pit, and he would basically suck it, suck the pit. And the shadi, and he wasn't able to eat more than that, so rather he would just basically suck whatever was off the pit, and then he would throw it away, and that's what she set about the shadi. When she died, right? She went ahead and she wrote, right, basically, throw all my silver and my gold into the streets, right? Why do I need this? Right? And I have all this gold and silver, but I can't go ahead and consume gold and silver. Right? There's nothing to buy. So what is this? All this gold and silver is useless. Behind the pasuk says, they will go ahead and they will chuck aside their silver. So Abba Sikra, raised by Yoni Yerushalayim, Barachti Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai. So Abba Sikra, he was the head of the Bar Yoni in Yerushalayim. He was the son of the sister, the nephew of Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai. He told, let's go ahead and meet in privacy. How are you guys gonna? How long are you gonna do this? Right? Right? And allow everyone here to we're all gonna die. So he said, "Is the leader Baryoni?" He said, "What can I do? The Amina Luhumidi completely. They're going to go ahead and kill me if I try to stop them. Right? They're all ready to go for war. If I say, hey, we're going to die in famine, they're going to kill me." So Chazni Takanasa, the Didi, the Apuk, the Afshad, the Havi Hatzaleport. He says, so says Rabbi Yechon Zakan, maybe I have some sort of plan. If you can get me out, there might be some sort of salvation. So he says, go ahead and basically, go on, pretend, basically fake that you're dying, right? And go under the covers, right? Everyone will come and, the word will spread that you're sick, right? And everyone will go ahead and pray for you and, send you, farewell wishes because you're on your deathbed, right? Right? And you go, and you go ahead and basically take something that's going to go ahead and smell some sort of rotting meat or something and put it, lying next to you under the cover, labor the nachnafshe, right? And we'll go ahead and we'll say that you died. And have your students go ahead and carry you, but don't let anyone else carry you. The rukshan, because they'll be able to go ahead and sort of feel the weight. The kalat inu. Right, because you're going to be lighter because you're not dead. You're lighter, and yadi dechayah the kalil mimisa. Right, so because if they go ahead and they lift up this corpse, which they think so, the corpse is really dead weight is heavier than the live weight. So therefore, don't let anyone else carry you because then they're going to realize that you're under these covers, but you're alive and not dead. So in order to fake your death, have your close talmidim carry you, and therefore no one else will be able to go ahead and figure out the weight. So they did that. So Nichnas but Rabbi Eliezer mitzadecha, Rabbi Shua mitzadecha. So Rabbi Eliezer was on one side, Rabbi Shua on the other side. At Kibatu, the Pischa, when they got to the entrance where the Baryoni were guarding, so no one can get out. The boy the mitre. So they said, "Okay, he's dead. Let's go ahead and just stab him with a couple spears, make sure he's really dead." So Rabbi the Karu. So they're going to say, look at the Jews. They kill their rabbis. So boy, the mitzvah is okay. So let's just shove him hard and knock him out. So once again, right? Once again, they're going to say that the Baryoni killed. They pushed the rabbis. So they let them do paschulei. They opened up enough up, and so they left. Kimat l'hasan. They got out. Amar shalom aleichem malka shalom aleichem malka. So he saw Vespasius, right? So he saw Vespasian, right? Aspasinus, they found him, and he said, Shalom Aleichem, King, Shalom Aleichem, King. So I'm going to have the train Katla, right? You're Chai Misa twice. God, the love Malka. First of all, I'm not the king, but call Karli Malka, and you're calling me king. So that in itself is deserving of the death penalty. So, and furthermore, Malka, if it was the king, my Lord, how can we have that come to me until now? So I'm late to come out to love Malka, that which you say to me, you are not the king. Ibra, turn the pages. Ibra Malka asked. Right? So he says, you appear to me that you're going to be a king in the future. Why? Because if you were not a king or destined to be a king, then Yerushalayim would not be placed in your hand. The Chassidus pasuk says, says the Lebanon will fall to the Adir. And Adir refers to the king. The Chassidus pasuk says, he was a Dirumenu, he was the king. Bein Lebanon, Ela Beis HaMikdash, he's referring to the Beis Mikdash, and Amar, Hahara Tov Hazev Lebanon. So it says over there, the mountain, the Temple Mount, and Harabayis, and also Lebanon was referring to the Beis Mikdash itself. So the Beis Mikdash will only fall to a king. It's falling to you, Aspasidus. Therefore, you must be a king. Now, what you asked me, if I were a king, why did you come to me until now? So Baryoni, these Ben Loi Shavkina. These Baryoni, right? These troublemakers, they're not allowing me to get. They did not allow me to get out. So says Aspasinus back to him. Shamalei ilu chavis shel dvash v'darkon karuch halel v'havi shenis chavis b'shvil darko. So understand. Let's say you had a big vase, a vase, right, full of honey, and there was a snake around it. So how would you go ahead and get rid of the snake? Shatter the vase. Right? And then the snake will no longer be on, and the snake will get away. So too, you should have shattered the walls of Yerushalayim, and this way the Baryoni wouldn't have been able to keep you in. There was nothing enclosing you anymore. So Ishtik, so You didn't have, 1 second. Who's Rabbi Zakai? Who was this? Rabbi Zakai. I forgot who was the one who was put out of the bed. It was Rabbi Zakai, right? So Rabbi Zakai said, right? So he said nothing. He was quiet. Ishtik lost place. Ishtik. He was quiet. Ishtik. So Kari Allah Rabbi Yosef. He came to Rabbi Akiva. Meishiv Chachamim Achor B'Daitam Yisrachel. He said. So he said the response of the Chachamim, right, is turned foolish. In other words, he had an obvious response and he didn't say it. So it was sort of a foolish. Oh, we'll soon see. So he brought the memory. She said, "Shaklina tzavsa v'shaklina leila darko v'katlina le v'chavisa shakila." They could have said, "Get a pair of tongs. Go ahead, take the snake, take it out, or kill it. Right? Kill the snake, and then you won't have a problem. You don't have to, and therefore this way you don't have to break the vase. Right? You don't have to break the vase just to go ahead and get it to go away or get it out. Right? You could have just taken tongs, take the snake out. So too, we should have. The whole point was didn't need to break the walls, right? We should go ahead and take out the bar unit. So that's what they could have done, right? The chavisa shavila. Sadhachi meanwhile Paristaka alem Romi. A messenger came from Rome. Amar le kum, stand up. The misle Caesar. The Caesar has died. Rami hanu chashiv d'Rome. Right, and the Senate, those important of Rome, Uzvecha Beresha, right? So they want to go ahead and appoint you as the new Caesar. So Vespasian now was basically the Melech, as was stated earlier by Rabbi Zakai. So he had one already, one Shuan. So brother, the Messiah Achrini, he wanted to go ahead and put on the other one, and so he did the shoe that he had on, he wanted to take off, nothing. So he had one shoe on, so his other shoe wouldn't go on, wouldn't fit because his foot got too big. And the shoe that was on wasn't able to be pulled off because also his foot was too big. So I'm at my high. So what's going on here? So I'm late. So I said, don't worry, Shmuel Taiva, because you heard good hearings, right? You heard good tidings, right? You found out you were king. So the Chsiv, Shmuel Taiva Tidash Netzem, right? When you hear a good thing, then it enlarges the bone. Elamai Tekanase. So what do I do? Okay, I got one shoe on and I can't get the other one on, or I can't get this one up. Go find someone you don't like, right? And have him go pass before you. The Chsiv says, so over there, that will go ahead and shorten the bone. Mm-hmm. So now let's go get someone who will anger you, and the anger will cause the swelling of your feet to go down. And he did that, and therefore he was able to go ahead and fit on his other shoe. Summer late. Right? Because you are so wise. Until now, why have you come to me? Right? I see you're so wise. Did I not tell you? Right? We got a snake problem. We got a bar yaina problem. So I also gave you an answer. Right? I told you should have just broken down the walls. Miza Azlina, I got to get out of here. And there's someone else is going to be set here to finish the job on Yerushalayim. Meanwhile, before we finish up this little meeting, maybe ask me any requests that I can go ahead and grant you. So he said to him, Tainli Yavna Chachmel, you have to save Yavna and its Rabbanim, its Chachamim, Shalita, the Rabbi Gamliel. Right, and also the family of Rabbi Gamliel, who was the Nasi, and also Vesvata, the Messiah, the Rabbi Tzadok, and also medical care for Rabbi Tzadok. Kari Allah, the Rav Yosef, he came Rabbi Akiva, and Rav Yosef said, "This is son of Rabbi Akiva." Meishiv Chachamim Achor V'Daitam Yisachar. The response of Chachamim, right, can't be foolish. But the Meimar Shavkinu Hadazimna, to leave the base of Mikdash. Right, leave Yerushalayim, save Yerushalayim. That's what you should have requested. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yavna, Yerushalayim. However, why did not do it? If I would have asked for something so big, we would not have done it. And therefore, there was no, we wouldn't even had small salvation. So therefore, at least there would be a small salvation to ensure the continuation of the Yiddishkeit of the Jews there. So Asaf to the Messiah, the Rabbi Tzadok, some Mahi. So what do they do? How do they go ahead and give medical care to Rabbi Tzadok? So the parrot. So the first day, I guess they just gave him a little bit of water that was soaked in bran. Then there was afterwards, and it was water that was in better. What is going on here? Is this on? All right. So he said that actually in finer bran and maya the kimcha. Then afterwards they went ahead and put in flour. The Rav Chamaya porta, right? Until eventually they get more and more, and he was able to have less liquid and more sustenance in his in his body in order for his body to go to get healthy little by little. Azil Shadre Latitus. So who was the Vespasian? Who came and replace him? So Titus. All right, Titus. Right. So it says there is a he who questioned. I think he said your camera's not, or that ego. Yeah. All right. So he said it there. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. I was wondering what was going on. So he says, so where is this God, right? Who you guys rely upon a rock, basically, challenging God. And who says that? That's Titus HaRasha. That was referring to Titus HaRasha, Shechira V'Gida Kapi Malad, who was a blasphemer towards Hashem. Ma'asa. So what did he do? So Tavash Zaina Biyado, he took a Zaina with him, a harlot, right, with him. V'nichas Beis HaMikdash Kadashim, went to Kadashim, v'etzia Septara, and he rolled out a Septara v'aver Lea Aveira, and he was boil her upon the Septara in the Beis Kadashim. V'nato Saif, and he took out a sword, v'gider, a pareches, and he tore with it the pareches, the nas and nace, and then a miracle happened. V'haya dam. And it started bleeding. Blood started coming out of the pareches, the yaitse. It was going out. And he thought, "Oh, I killed their God. Should I see the blood?" Shnamar tzarecha bekerev moadecha some oisam oisos. Right. So it said those your enemies who are within your moed, within your temple. Right. They will misread the signs. So you've used the signs of killing God, and that's not true. And
it's not so out of the so extraordinary that there would be blood from the parochas, because every year the Kohen Gadol would do the avoda and would sprinkle blood.
This is not blood sprinkling. It was bleeding. It says v'nas and nes. The Gemara says that a miracle. It was miraculous blood. It wasn't just blood from that. They used to clean it up, any of the blood. So, anyways, right? So the pasuk says, "Who is like Hashem, right? Who is so strong and firm?" What does that mean? Chosim v'kasha, right? So that Hakadosh Baruch Hu, so he's the one. He's basically, even though he was being challenged, he was quiet. He didn't say anything. Because you hear this person blaspheming and challenging and says, "Oh, I killed God," and you remain silent. And the Rabbi Shmuel, similar Rabbi Shmuel, the Rabbi Shmuel, Michamecha Beilim, right? Michamecha Ba'alimim, right? Who is like you and mute, right? Who is like not with the strong ones, but who is like you and mute? Who is like such strength and power and is mute like this? Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ma'asa. So what did Titus do? So he not as a pareches vasu kamin gar sani. So he took the pareches and he basically used it like as a blanket, and he filled it with the heavy kol hakelim shel mikdash. He threw in all the vessels of the mikdash. And he placed them in the Yeshiva Svina. He put it in a boat. Right, he went to go ahead and to basically go ahead and bring it back to Rome to be praised in the city. Shnamar, as the pasuk says, uvachein raisi rishayim kavurim ubavim makom kadosh yalechu v'yishtachu ba'ir asher kain asu. So it says over there, the Rishayim saw Kavurim, that means, and they went to the place, the holy place, and they went to go ahead in the place and which they did. What does this mean? Atikri Kavuram Ella Kavutzim. In other words, they gathered over there in the holy place in the base of Mikdash, and then they went back and Atikri Vishtafu, and they forgot Ella Vishtafku. They will be praised. In other words, they gathered all the stuff from the Mikdash, and then they took it back to Rome, and over there they were praised. That's what pasuk means. Nigadar means something of different version. Kavura mamish means something that was hidden and buried mamish. The afila mile the mitram iglai lahud iglan lahud. Even things that were normally they were hidden, the vessels that were hidden basically appeared to the Titus, and they found them and took them with them to Rome. And I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not sure. Some of the love Nachshol Shaviyam. So upon him came a storm out on the sea. The Toiva to go ahead and sink the ship. Amar. So says Titus. I see that their God, his only power is in the sea. Why? How is he able to take down Paro in the sea? Also, Sisra is all taken out of the sea. Made a line. He also wants to go ahead and only take it out of the sea. He couldn't challenge me in Yerushalayim. Now I get to the sea, he's getting me, right? He's not so strong. If he's a Gibor, if he's strong, let him go ahead into the dry land and have a war with me there. The Baskel says, Russia ben Benosha shall Esav HaRusha. You are the Russia, son of a Russia, the grandson, descendant of Esav HaRusha. Bria Kala Yeshli B'Olam. I have a very small creature in my world. V'yitu Shema, it's a gnat. The Amaikar the Bria Kala was so small. The Mealna Isle Umifakna Lesla. Right? That it knows it's so small that it only has the space for a hole for it to enter, food to enter, but not for it to go out. So Allah the Basha, so he went onto the land, the dry land, Tasi Melchama. All right, and he says, okay, ready to war with him, Liyabasha, Sabah Yitush. So he got to land ready for the war, and came the Nat, V'nichnas, B'chayim went through his nose, V'nakar, V'meicha, Sheva Shanim. And basically this Nat ate away at his brain for 7 years. Yom Echad, one day, during, I guess towards the end, Havi, and it was immense pain. Havi Kacholif, Ababa Dubei Nafcha. He went by a blacksmith. He went by a blacksmith, Shama Kol. Arzapta and Ishtik, right? They had the banging of the on the anvil, right? So they heard the banging, and from that sort of appeased this gnat, and it didn't cause them pain that day. It was quiet. Samar Ika Takarasa. So he said, "Oh, I found a solution, a remedy. Call Yemim Maisi Nachos, and they'll go ahead and bring a silversmith in front of me. Well, Machul Kamein will go ahead and bring in front of me. The Nachri, if it's the Nachri Yadle Arba Zuze, I'll pay him for a Zuz. You saw if it was a Jew, Amalei, the Chasis Bisinach. Your payment is enough just to see me in pain like this. You don't need payment because you get to see me like this. Meanwhile, after 30 days, so this worked with the gnat. However, that came the dash. Then basically, when it made noise, the gnat was no longer appeased. It was no longer startled. It was not new to it, and therefore it went to continue eating away at his brain. So Tanya Pinchas ben Aruvania Yisi ben Gedali Remi. I was by the Gedali Remi Shemes. And when Titus died, Patsu Esmeicho, they broke on his brain. Umatzabai Katsipor Dura Mishkal Shnei Slime. And he found a Dura, the type of bird, by the size of 2 slime. Masisatana, like a geyser, like a pigeon, Ben Shana, a year-old pigeon, Mishkal Shnei Lichin. It was the size of 2 lichin, it was even larger. And Amrab, right, so Amrabai Nachtinan, Piv Shal Nechaisha, Vitzibrana Shal Barzel. Right, and the Bible says we have judged also. His mouth was that in the cheshes of this bird is like a special bird of copper, and his nails were that of metal. So when he died, Amar Lahu, he said, "Liklu lahu gavra, lavaji lekitay ashev yemei delalish alakal tihudai." Right, Medina. So he said that when I die, go ahead and basically go ahead and have me. What's it called?
Ashes scattered.
Scattered, right? Was for you have him
Incinerated.
right? Cremated. There you go. Right. So he'll go ahead and have me cremated, and my ashes, instead of pouring it on Wrigley Field, go ahead and pour it, all over the seas. And this way, the God of the Jews won't be able to go ahead and bring me to court because I'm scattered all over the place. Onkelos bar Kolonikus bar Achte the Titus Hari. So Onkelos was basically the nephew of Titus, right? The son of the sister of Titus. The Guri, he wanted to go ahead and says, I might go ahead and join the Jews. So Oscar, the Titus, he went ahead and he brought up, right, through through magic, right? He brought up after Titus died, right? So he brought up Titus, the Gida, right? So he brought him up through his spirit. Alma. Okay, you're dead. Tell me what's going on in the next world. What's going on? Who's considered important there? Yisrael. He said the Jews. So he said, "Ma'alef lead bukivu. What is it? Should I join them?" Samalei milay and the fishim lematzis the kumenayu. Right? There's he got so many laws he won't be able to keep up. Zil agabahu alma b'havis reisha. Go ahead and fight with them and have war with them, and you'll be like a leader. Right? The Chassid says, "Right? Those people who go ahead and wage war against them will be leaders." Whoever's Messiah, whoever causes problems for the Jews, he'll be a Rosh. Okay, so if I do that and become a Rosh, what's my penalty? So Amarle, so he said, I'll tell you what happened to me. But the pasuk anafshe, right? Basically, that which I went ahead and did for myself, that basically is happens to me. So every day they go ahead and they gather me, they bring me to court. All right, and then they go v'kalu ashev yami. And then they go ahead and they judge me, and then basically they burn my ashes, they burn me, and then they scatter me over the 7 seas. Also, ask the Bilam, the Negidas. He once said he brought up Bilam, right? He's up there dead. Who's born in that world? The Yisrael is the Jews. Should I go ahead and join them? Go ahead, don't seek peace with them, don't do good with them, fight against them. Okay, it won't be by punishment then. You're going to go ahead and you'll be submerged in burning semen. Also, asking the Benagida, the Paisha Yisrael, he went ahead, he brought up a spirit of a Jewish sinner. Who's important in the world to come? Yisrael, the Jews. Should I go ahead and join them? Go ahead and seek good with them, do good with them. Yes, join them, and don't do bad with them. And whoever goes ahead and touches him, it's like someone who gets poked in the eye. It's not a good thing. So what is the din with someone who does not do that? Right? He will be in a burning excrement. Whoever goes ahead and violates, right, and makes fun of the words of the Chachamim, he will be in burning feces. See, by the way, what's the difference between the sinners of the Jews who says, "Hey, join the Jews," versus the other sinners, Bilam and Titos, they said, "Don't join." Nevertheless, we're almost done. So Tanya Amar Rabbi Eliezer, Bo Rei Kamed Gedola Kaicha Shabusha, and see what great is the busha Sharei Sia Kodesh Baruch Hu as Bar Kamsa. Right, because we see over here that from this shame that was brought upon Bar Kamsa, because of that, Kodesh Baruch Hu helped with the destruction of the temple, all based upon the busha of that Jew. And we will stop here. The 2 dots. We will continue with the other stories.
Wow.